Hello, everyone. It's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another best ball draft video. Today, we're hopping in a Best Ball Mania 3 draft. $25 entry fee for the chance to win $2 million. So, we're drafting players with the absolute highest upside. We got the 11th pick today, meaning we're going to be ending up with players like Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley, CD Lamb type players in the first round. But anyways, guys, if you do enjoy these type of videos, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you think I did. Let me know who you're drafting or who you're targeting in these type of leagues, and subscribe to the channel so you can absolutely dominate your friends, your office workers, your coworkers, everything the like in fantasy football. Anyways, guys, that's it for introductions. We got Austin Eckler off the board. Very, very standard draft so far. Dalvin Cook coming off the board at pick 7. We got Diggs still on the board, Derrick Henry still on the board. It is possible. I was gonna say it's possible to get Derrick Henry. I've seen Derrick Henry fall pretty far, and it's really weird to me. I mean, I don't really understand. I think Derrick Henry's an awesome player. Um, but we have a potential chance to get Stephon Diggs here. I don't think he'll fall. I think Snake Wells will most likely be taking him. If that is the case, I'm probably gonna be taking Joe Mixon here. Honestly, I've been thinking more and more and more about Najee Harris, and I'm pretty much off Najee Harris this year. I don't see the ceiling at all, honestly. 307 attempts and 1,200 yards, 74 receptions. Guy had 381 touches last season. Yeah, he was the RB3. But when you have this many touches, it's hard not to be. In this situation, it's not better. It's almost worse, if anything. And they are talking about potentially reducing his touches, so I'm gonna be off Najee Harris now. I'm taking Joe Mixon here. I'm hoping to get Saquon Barkley. CD I would be fine with as well. Either way, I can't be too mad. He goes Mike Evans. We're taking Saquon here. So now we just have two absolutely ridiculous running backs. Team I really, really like so far. Considering at 35 and 38, it is really, really pretty easy to get some of these elite wide receivers, whether it be Marquise Brown, Cortland Sutton. There's so many good wide receivers in this 35 to 38 range. Potentially, we could even get Josh Allen here or Kyle Pitts. I mean, I would be fine if at 35 and 38 we get Josh Allen on the way there and Kyle Pitts on the way back. That would be awesome. And then we just figure it out at wide receiver later, which is a little bit scary, honestly. But when you're starting 10 wide receivers, it is a tiny bit better. Or it is possible. It allows you some flexibility to go for these wide receivers later, and then especially when you have Joe Mixon and Saquon Barkley, two running backs that are going to be ridiculous this year. I mean, most likely Joe Mixon with his massive O-line upgrades, and Saquon Barkley with the best coaching staff of his career. I hope, at least. I pray. We got Deebo Samuel on the board. Alvin Kamara still on the board as well. These guys will most likely be off the board any second now. Same thing with Deebo. I mean, Deebo's definitely be off the board. Having a combination, like, I really don't get why Deebo is so faded at a point. I mean, I was getting him at pick 22 at some points. I was taking him and like JGF. Actually crazy. Mark Andrews, another guy who's been falling a ton. I wonder where he's at now. 22.1. Pretty interesting to see him there. I really just don't get it. I love Mark Andrews. I think he's being one of the best values in the entire draft at this point. In the early rounds, I understand people wanting to get their running backs over a guy like Mark Andrews, but he's going normally almost a full round after Travis Kelce, and like, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? Sorry, I was just trying to fix my mic. Doesn't really make much sense to me. We got Michael Pittman off the board, pick 21. At that point, I mean, realistically, how are you not drafting Michael Pittman at his ceiling right here? How are you not drafting Michael Pittman at his absolute ceiling when he's going to pick 21? One of the guys I'm fading the absolute most in these drafts this year. I mean, he's going around, what's his ADP right now? Probably 28, 29, 28.1. Yeah, come on. That's his ceiling right there. Josh Allen coming off the board pretty early. Deebo Samuel still on the board. Holy, what is going on? What the heck is going on? I'm actually baffled. Maybe he had like an injury. I mean, that's all I can guess. This makes no sense. Uh, I'm just gonna check my phone really quick and look and see if Debo had an injury because I didn't hear about anything. Um, nope, there's no news on Debo. No news that I've seen on Debo today. Yeah, no, he's just what the heck is going on? Oh my God. I mean, there's no possible way he comes to me at 35. It's just impossible. I'm sure all these guys' mouths are watering. The fact that Debo's still on the board. I mean, at least one person. There's no way. What the heck is going on? Josh Allen coming off the board. Yeah, Debo at pick 29. Holy crap, this team is insane. This is one of the best starts to a draft that I've ever seen. I mean, I probably would have went the opposite. I probably would have taken Debo here over Mark Andrews. So I probably wouldn't have had this combination of teams. I mean, maybe, but I cannot believe Debo fell this far. I mean, that just doesn't even look real. Um, Debo, a guy, like I said, has been being faded a tiny bit, but I didn't think it would be this much. T. Higgins still on the board as well. Not anymore. Um, I mean, I would be fine taking Sutton here. I'd be fine taking Mike Williams here. I'd be fine taking ETN here, but I mean, we most likely want to go wide receiver here. And I imagine at least one of these guys will take it back, most likely. So we're hoping for Mike Williams or Sutton here. I'm fine with either. Honestly, Sutton was a guy who was fading, and now I think it was kind of a little bit foolish of me to fade him. So I do think he is going to be pretty decent this season, especially I mean getting a wide receiver one potentially for Russell Wilson's fine. I mean I would gladly take that. We might get sniped on him here though. Snake Wells. A lot of these very highly experienced people, they love to get their wide receivers early. So we could get sniped here pretty easily. But especially with the injury of Tim Patrick, I mean, Sutton's a guy that I really like here. He's off the board, unfortunately though. So we are probably going to be taking James Conner here. James Conner, a guy I think, I mean, is a really good pick. We do have three running backs now in the first three rounds, meaning we are going to be hammering these wide receivers as much as humanly possible here. I mean, I would love some Hollywood here. Hollywood would just be insane because I imagine Waddle will probably be off the board. But I mean, if not, there's three guys that I like here, so we're taking Hollywood here. I like Hollywood a lot. Um, So now we have a pretty interesting team build. We have two Cardinals here, meaning we're probably going to be taking Kyler Murray as well. I mean, at 59 and 62, I might even take Kyler and Jalen Hurts, which would be a little crazy. Um, but it is possible depending on the way the wide receivers shake out. Because most likely I'm not going to be getting Chris Godwin. I'm not going to be. I mean, I could get Darnell Mooney, but a lot of these type of players I'm probably not getting. I mean, I could even reach in a Lazard, a guy I really like, and it would also create a really unique team combination because there are not many people who most likely have this team combination. I mean, this team combination is pretty fair, but in terms of the fact that not many people would have Lazard with this team combo, if they did, they would probably have him at 83 here. So maybe I shouldn't reach on him, but yeah, what can you do? Kind of feeling a little ballsy this draft. Kind of just trying to go get my guys pretty much. I mean, all these guys are literally my guys, or guys I really like this season. Um, Debo at 29 though. I mean, I still just can't believe that this guy can't mess this core of draft up. I mean, it's just pretty much impossible. If I were him, I'd go Judy here, but this guy's a wizard apparently. So he goes Terry McLaurin. I can't fault him for that one. I feel like I have been getting pick 11 a lot recently, and I'm pretty much fine with that. I like having pick 11 a lot. Gabe Davis off the board. So we'll see exactly what happens here. But it is possible to get. I mean, if I were this guy as well, not to keep harping on this guy, but I mean, if he gets Lamar here, pick 53, because you already have a ridiculously unique team combination, so it doesn't matter. Uh, It doesn't matter about putting together the stack, but Lamar would also be like 5 pick value there. What the heck is going on with Jerry Judy? Okay, yeah, it's off the board. Deontay's still on the board as well. A guy I would definitely like. If I were here, staring him down as my wide receiver two potentially. I mean, that would be fine by me. We are 10 picks away, so I don't think we'll get him here. At 59, I would also I have seen what's his name? Kelsey? Not Kelsey, Kittle full a fair amount. And Darren Waller is still on the board as well, so I mean, it is possible we do end up with a guy like Kittle here, which I would be fine with. A lot of these guys in this range, I love this round. I mean, round 5 is like my haven. I like every single player in this round, whether it be Juju, whether it be Deontay. What the heck is Juju? I guess he got taken really early. When did he get taken? Juju got taken 39. He did get taken really early. But I like all these guys in this range. Deontay is fine, even though it's a very early 5th rounder. Lamar would be awesome. Any of these guys. J.K. Dobbins is off the board. A guy who's been rising on these boards yet again. His ADP is coming up. 51, Darren Waller comes off the board. So there are, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys with no tight end in front of me. So the odds are low that we end up getting George Kittle. But I mean, I like all these guys. I was just going to say Lamar. Deontay would be fine. Kittle would be fine. Godwin would be fine. Rashad Bateman would be fine. Any of these guys here. If I had to choose, I mean, I would probably choose Kittle just because he offers a positional advantage, and I would just clear out my tight end. I would really only have to take 2. He comes off the board here, but we still have 3 wide receivers we really like now, too. As long as we don't get sniped on both these guys, we're fine. Even if we do, though, I say we probably take Darnell Mooney here anyways, or Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's a guy I probably should have a little bit higher. Guy's an absolute beast. Okay, so now AJ Dillon comes off the board, so we will be getting one of these 2. I guess if I had to hope for one, I'd hope for... I don't know. I'm a little torn because Chris Godwin did, tear his ACL and everything, is coming back on the one hand, and on the other hand, Rashad Bateman, completely unproven. He goes Chris Godwin, making our decision a little bit easier. We got Bateman here. We get the one Ravens wide receiver and one former Ravens wide receiver here, which is fine by me. I would, I mean, I do want to go Kyler Murray here for the stack, but if Mooney makes it back to us, I'm fine going Mooney here. I'm very fine going Mooney here. Getting ourselves 3 wide receivers. The only thing is, who would our quarterback be? I mean, we'd end up with like a Russ type situation, which is fine, but realistically, since I do have James Conner and since I do have Hollywood Brown, I probably should go Kyler here. I probably should. So we'll go Kyler here. I think that's gotta be the smart decision, even though I would rather go Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is off the board anyways. I would rather go Jalen Hurts here. Nah, you know what? Screw it. We're going Darnell Mooney. Even though we could have put together a nice stack, I think I like Darnell Mooney a lot. He's going to be the only wide receiver in this offense pretty much. So I'm fine going Mooney there. At 83, we'll see who end up getting quarterback, but we'll figure it out. Let me see. How many? I mean, what, about half the league has a quarterback now, give or take? Kyler Murray will probably be off the board soon anyways. Dalton Schultz coming off the board. Wow. This guy has 5 wide receivers and Dalton Schultz. It's an interesting team build, I do have to say. So I'm assuming he probably wants Dak. I'm gonna St. Brown off the board. 5 wide receivers. Kyler Murray off the board as well. To be expected. I mean, it's Kyler Murray. Guy's an absolute fantasy phenom. We'll see if Trey Lance comes off the board as well. I think Trey Lance most likely will. Trey Lance is a guy who's probably just going to be getting pushed up higher and higher here. Imagine he goes at the 6-7 turn here about Lazard, the Lazard King, coming off the board. A guy I really like. Yeah, he comes off the board pretty early. Meaning, I mean, Montgomery's still on the board as well. A guy who keeps falling, and again, I don't understand why. I mean, it's sure his ceiling isn't ridiculous, but I mean, he was the running back for 2 years ago, so it's not an awful ceiling. It's not a ceiling where it's like, oh my god, this guy's brutal by any stretch of the imagination. Why is he falling so far? I mean, I will gladly take him if he comes to me. I pick 83, even though I do have 3 running backs, so I probably shouldn't. I mean, he's a really good pick where he's going. Amari Cooper's still on the board as well. Like, I would at least consider taking. We go with a little Russ action here potentially as well. I mean, I would be so fine with Russ here. Russell Wilson would make my day if he fell to me at 83, which I don't know if it'll happen. This guy's already got 2 QBs. That's a little bit scary. You don't really like to see that. Monty coming off the board. What the heck is this guy doing? Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, and David Montgomery. Oh my God. Beer 2022. I guess he's drunk. I guess he's drinking a little bit. Um, pretty crazy freaking strategy. Because I mean, you figure drafting with this guy, you're like, okay, he probably won't go running back here. If he goes running back again, I mean, this guy's got to be like reported. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you pretty much have to be throwing if this is what you're doing. I mean, I guess it benefits me in a way just because I have so many running backs already. So I mean, if this guy's making the position even more scarce, I'm good with that, and taking more away from other players. That's good for me. Oh, this guy's absolutely throwing. I'm gonna see if I can report him. I don't know if I can. But he's absolutely throwing. Tua tag up by Loa off the board. A little bit crazy there. I mean, that is, I guess, good for me again because I do need a quarterback here. So, I mean, if I can get Russ, I would love that. I think this guy's probably waiting for Dak. Very highly experienced person, so he probably wants the CD Schultz and Prescott stack. I mean, I would assume at least Clyde on off the board as well. Maybe I should have honestly waited at running back for my running back 3. I probably should have gone with. I was just sad at the tier break after Cortland Sutton. There probably is a tier break. But maybe going Allen Robinson there was the move, or going with Waddle there is the move. Probably it really was honestly going going Allen Robinson there. But yeah, live and you learn. Amari Cooper still on the board? Not anymore. I was gonna say, I mean, at that point he is a value. But I'm really hoping we can get Russ here. I mean, that would just be awesome. Russ would make my day. Russ would make my week. I mean, this guy's already got a quarterback though. He's got Hurts, so I could probably afford to wait and see potentially if I can get a Drake London first. Because I do like Drake London. I think Drake London's fine here. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. He goes Russ anyways. Absolutely ripping our hearts out here. So we're gonna go Drake London. We're gonna go Drake London. I think that's fine. Does kind of stink. He went Russ. But what can you do? Chris Olave off the board. And then I mean Kadarius Toney would be a fine option because we do have these Giants players here. We do have Saquon Barkley, so we'll probably put together a Daniel Jones stack here. Most likely later in the draft. I'm actually gonna start him up now so I don't forget. We'll take Kadarius Toney here. So now we have 5 really good wide receivers, 3 absolutely ridiculous running backs. Would have been nice to get one of these 4 other running backs, but at the same time, I mean, does seem like it's possible. Okay, yes, he does go Dak Prescott here. He does double up a QB. It does make sense. But we can also, I mean, try and get like an Aaron Rodgers in the next round, a Matt Stafford in the next round. Stafford, a guy that's falling a little bit because his elbow's hurting, which is fine. I mean, you figure he got surgery on it. It is a little bit serious, but he will most likely play. He will most likely not be missing time. It is possible he does. But we'll see. We'll see. I hope these running backs come off the board, especially Gibson. Gibson's a guy who's going to be in absolute free fall. Kareem Hunt as well. I mean, it would be nice if he fell to us, considering all these running backs are falling here. But I really like this team build so far. I mean, we're gonna need to figure it out at tight end. We're gonna need to figure it out. We need to figure out a tight end, and we're gonna need to figure it out at quarterback. But that's okay. We're making a bet on the New York Giants offense. Pretty heavy bet on the New York Giants offense. Which is not a bet. I think that in years past has been fruitful, has been successful, but it's the draft we're putting together. Rashad Penny, Tony Pollard, Sky Moore. If you guys are enjoying this video, by the way, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how you think I did, and subscribe to the channel so you could absolutely dominate your fantasy football leagues. I really do appreciate it. Every single subscriber. It makes my day. It makes my week. It really does mean the world to me. And I do want you guys to absolutely freaking crush your leagues. I mean, it's just the best feeling. Winning in fantasy football, there's really nothing like it. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful feeling. Brings tears to your eyes, brings tears to your face. So, Yeah, I mean, it's actually truly such a good feeling. So that's what I want to bring to you guys with this channel. That's my hope, my what I pray for every night. Uh, so yeah, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, would mean the world to me. Maybe we do get James Cook here, get running back 4. I mean, we really don't even need one with how nice this team is built at running back position. It's not really a luxury we can afford potentially because we do need to get a good tight end here. Um, but Stafford is still on the board. I mean, pretty interesting pick in my opinion. Really interesting pick in my opinion. I mean, he doesn't have the ceiling, but it's Matt Stafford. It's freaking Matt Stafford. Guy will ball. Guy will absolutely ball, and there's no doubt in my mind about that. Guy at 600 attempts, almost 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns. I mean, sounds like a Stafford average day to me, or an average year in a Sean McVay-led offense. I mean, come on. So I mean, if we could get Stafford here, if we get Stafford and later pick like 155, we take DJ. Fine with that. What's DJ's ADP right now? It's 165. So we may have to reach on him a bit because I'm not waiting till 179 because we do need this stack for our team build. And it's not really. I mean, reaching in the later rounds is not as bad as reaching in the earlier rounds. Reaching in the earlier rounds, you could absolutely screw yourself. But reaching in the later rounds is all but fine to me. I mean, in like the really, really late rounds, especially. Oh, we could get Dameon Pierce here as well. That would be a really interesting pickup as our 4th back. I mean, it depends. It depends on what we want to do here. I mean, it just would be nice to have that security blanket with Dameon Pierce. The problem is it's drafting a little too safe, I think. So we're not taking Dameon Pierce. If we can get TJ Hawkinson here, we're not drafting Dameon Pierce. TJ Hawkinson, a guy that's falling more and more. I mean, if I could double up with these two, I mean, that would just make my day. Doesn't happen here. But we'll take, just because we need it for our team, I'm going to take Stafford here. I'm going to take Stafford just because, again, we do need it for our team. And then I'll probably go Knox. Or, no, I'm going to go Knox first and then Stafford. As long as I don't get sniped by this friggin' asshole. He goes Damian Harris. So we'll take Dawson Knox here. The reason I did that was because this guy does not have a tight end. So since he doesn't have a tight end, I'd rather he does have a quarterback. So I think the risk is probably smarter that he won't take a quarterback here. So we'll get Stafford here potentially, and I'm fine with that. I mean, this range, there's really not too many great wide receivers here, not too many great running backs, anyways. So I'm pretty much fine with it. We'll take Stafford here, get our first quarterback at a slight discount as well. I mean, I'm definitely fine with this team right now where it stands. Our wide receivers could be a little bit stronger, but that's really as far as it goes. And then we get Daniel Jones late. We only need 2 quarterbacks on a team like this. Daniel Jones does have the rushing upside here, so there really is nothing wrong with this team build. We do just need. We might honestly need 3 tight ends. We might need to platoon this build with 3 tight ends, honestly. Like, if we can get Njoku, maybe like a Komet in the next round, I would be fine with that. That's actually probably the best idea here, is to go for one of these guys. I think most of these wide receivers are going to be off the board here. There's going to be tons and tons of wide receivers probably. Probably rounds 10, the next 8 picks will probably mostly be wide receivers. Like probably like 7 of the next 8 picks, which is going to be a little bit crazy considering. I mean, we could use a few more wide receivers here just looking at this team build. But we're going to be trying to get as many of these guys as we can on our board. I imagine no Rondell Moore. I imagine no Jalen Tolbert will be making it back to us. That's okay. George Pickens, a guy flying up these boards now. A guy who's going in the 160s, 170s now. Now it's not even a possibility that he's going there. Brian Robinson coming off the board to pick 116 as well. I mean, wow, that's actually crazy. But Brian Robinson, I think a guy who could be. I mean, all this rookie hype coming in, it's actually pretty crazy how much these rookies have gotten hyped up, which is fine. I mean, it does make sense. I do have tons of stock in these rookies from previous drafts, so I'm fine with it. I do. I really like this team, honestly. I like this team a lot here right now. I think it's really, really strong, actually. We have a lot of upside at wide receiver. Dawson Knox, a guy who's just going to be catching deep bombs. I mean, from one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. So I'm fine with Dawson Knox. I think Dawson Knox, maybe skill wise, isn't the greatest tight end, but he'll catch deep bombs, and that's good enough for me. Wow, Rondell Moore's still on the board. We are 10 picks away, though, so most likely not going to. I was wrong on my prediction of mostly wide receivers coming off the board as well. Ever since I said that, only three making it off the board here, which is a bit surprising. I really thought more would have been coming off the board. Justin Fields coming off as well. A few quarterbacks have come off the board now as well, making our Stafford pick look a little better. Because it is good. We do want to see as many of these quarterbacks come off when we do take a quarterback like Matt Stafford. Because there is kind of a tier break. I mean, I love Rodgers here. But at the same time, he just lost his best weapon. Matt Stafford gained a weapon. I mean, it's just not the same. I think Aaron Rodgers is still going to be a phenomenal NFL quarterback, though, and probably still good for fantasy, but you just, it's really hard to project him to be as good without Devontae Adams. And because Rodgers slings so many touchdowns, that's why he's so relevant in fantasy. If he loses 5 touchdowns this season, it is a tiny bit scary. Kirk Cousins coming off the board. Wow, there's still tons of wide receivers I like right now. Whether it be Rondell Moore, whether it be Jalen Tolbert, whether it be Pickens, fine with any of these guys. I'm fine. I'm really fine with any of these guys, actually. I mean, this would be an awesome pick here. And the main reason is because these tight ends are getting forced up a little bit, honestly. And quarterbacks as well are getting forced up. James Robinson coming off the board. But I would love one of these wide receivers, one of these three. We are 6 picks away, so it is pretty hard to imagine that we will get these guys. Rondell Moore comes off the board. We are 4 picks away now, though, so we just need 2 guys that we don't really like as much come off the board. Maybe we even go Gallup or Dobbs. We could even go Gallup or Dobbs here. Probably Gallup, realistically. Because Gallup will most likely be the wide receiver 2 in his offense, so we'll probably be taking Gallup here. I'll probably take Pickens and Gallup. I think that's Pickens off the board. Never mind. I take it back. Gainwell coming off the board as well here. Maybe we actually go Madison. Solidify our 4th back position for the rest of the draft. Yeah, we're going to go Madison here. And then I'm going to go Gallup. Right after this, Christian Watson, he can't go any lower. I really hope. I mean, if he falls to me at 155, I would jump for joy. I would scream. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with Gallup here. I think Gallup's a fine pick. Gallup's a really fine pick. Honestly, I'm liking Gallup right here if we can get him. Okay, so we're taking Gallup. So now we do have a pretty good wide receiver core. Our running backs are done. We don't need any more backs. And we have 2 of these guys that we like as well, in Daniel Jones and Njoku, to round out our wide receiver core. Or round out our 1C type positions, rather. Because we need to round out these 1C type positions. Because we really, that's where our weaknesses lie, are these 1C places. I mean, having Stafford a below average QB1 and Dawson Knox a below average tight end 1, something we're gonna need to figure out. But our running backs are ridiculous. I mean, we're gonna have insane production of running back each and every week. I mean, better than pretty much every other team in the entire league. I mean, aside from maybe this team, but it's very, very close. I mean, very, very close between these 2 teams. And he pretty much did the same exact strategy as me, except I waited even longer QB, and he still hasn't even gotten a tight end yet. But me and him pretty much filled out the same strategy. We got Pacheco coming off the board here. Irv Smith still on the board. Even though he does have the same buy as Knox, since I said I probably am going for a 3 tight end strategy, I'm more fine with it. if he somehow makes it back to us, which I don't think he will, but it is possible. Kenny Galladay, a guy absolutely plummeting down these boards. It makes sense. I mean, he hasn't really been looking too good in preseason here. Miko Hardman, a guy I don't want in the slightest. Don't want in the freaking slightest at all. Devontae Parker coming off the board. Nico Collins as well. Now these wide receivers are starting to come up more and more and more. And, it's pretty interesting to see. I mean, it's been a pretty, I wouldn't say standard draft, but it's been about what you expect. A little bit more value falling than usual, especially with Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney, a guy, I mean, you expect to go way, way higher than where he fell to me here at pick 86. I mean, his ADP 78. I think that's about a fair ADP for a guy like Kadarius Toney. Guys are going to be a beast this season. Trevor Lawrence, 142. At least if Kadarius Toney can stay on the field. If he can't stay on the field, then man. But I do think the Kadarius Toney injury stuff is a little bit overplayed. And Njoku coming off the board pretty early over a guy like Irv Smith, over a guy like Pat Freiermuth. Gesicki coming off the board as well. Wow. Okay, interesting. So we'll see if we can get a guy like Irv Smith to pick 155. If not, I'm fine with it. I mean, we'll figure out. We'll probably end up platooning like a Hayden Hurst or something like that. Then honestly, most likely. We'll figure it out. One of these two picks will be towards Daniel Jones, though, most likely. Christian Watson's still on the board as well. A guy I will definitely take here if he falls. Like 1000%. Just because my Christian Watson love is never ending, pretty much. That's the best way I could describe it. And that would really make me pretty happy if we can get him and Daniel Jones and figure out every position except for tight end, pretty much. It'll make my day. Make my day. Come on. Give them to me. Let's see who these guys go up. This guy's only got 4 wide receivers. They are really. Oh, this is the Mark Andrews dude. I mean, this guy. This guy's team it's a team. His quarterbacks are fire. I mean, his quarterbacks are ridiculous. Where is he at? Quarterbacks are ridiculous. His running backs are high upside. I mean, I'll give him that. They are pretty high upside. Picks here where it's like, okay, one of these two guys could go off. Brian Robinson could go off. I mean, it's a very low floor, high ceiling type draft. But I do like to secure at least one or two bell cows at least. I mean, I think having like a Joe Mixon and a Saquon Barkley, like you're getting like 18 points from each of them. Potentially with Saquon, you're getting like 22. I really hope Christian Watson doesn't snipe for me. I feel like this highly experienced dude's definitely taking Watson here, and he's better rip my heart out, which would stink. But we'll see. We shall see. I mean, if not, Jacoby Myers is still on the board. I think at least an all right pick, I guess. Not a guy I would want over Christian Watson though. We'll see what Snake Wells does though. He does need another tight end, so I could see a Freiermuth pick here. Actually, no, he's got the same bye. Probably not then. He goes Khalil Herbert. We're taking Watson. So we'll take Watson, and then Daniel Jones would be my dream, just because stacks. We need stacks here. Be a slight reach, taking him over these Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan, but I mean, at this point you're picking between piles of dog shit here. That's a little harsh actually. A little harsh for these quarterbacks. They're fine quarterbacks, but I mean they're good. But for fantasy, not as much so. I mean, Matt Ryan, you're not getting shit from his rushing. At that point, if you're not getting shit from rushing, you're probably not going to be a great fantasy quarterback. Matt Ryan coming off the board. We'll take Daniel Jones here, like we said. Pretty good pickup there. Then 179, 182. We need to figure out our tight end position pretty badly. We do have 7 good wide receivers, 4 running backs, and 2 quarterbacks here. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out at tight end. Fryermuth should have probably been one of my picks, but the thing is, I can't pass up the upside of these other two players. And I mean, I'll just have to figure it out. Get like an Austin Hooper type guy. Get like a Fryermuth, like these type of players here. Whoever it may be. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of this team. I know it is a pretty interesting build. Not a build I usually put together too often, where I wait this late for my second tight end. So it is pretty interesting to see. We're definitely gonna have to get 3 tight ends here. And also, I don't usually wait this long for my QB situation either. I usually prefer getting like a Jalen Hurts type guy. So it is a little bit of a different build for me than usual. Also, I don't have a true dominant wide receiver one. Well, I guess I could have gone CD here instead of Saquon. But other than that, there really is no position for me to get. I've gotten a true dominant wide receiver one. Hollywood will have to do the job though. We'll see. KJ Hamler on the board as well. Pretty surprising here. But I think I am actually gonna call the video here. I'll let you guys know down below in the comments who I got with my last few picks. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. I really do appreciate every single viewer, everything like that. If you have any questions about your fantasy football rosters, your lineups, please let me know down below. I will be answering any comment that you guys send out. Subscribe to the channel so you can absolutely dominate your friends. I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, and a good life.